Welcome to GovCon Clarity with Dr. Lori Smith, where strategies replace guesswork and readiness replace wishful thinking. With over 4 decades inside government systems, Dr. Lori breaks down what agencies actually evaluate: capacity, compliance, and credibility. If you're ready to compete at the federal level, not just apply, this is where clarity begins.
When we launched the very first episode of GovCon Clarity, I made you a promise. I told you I wasn't here to motivate you into contracts. I was here to prepare you for scrutiny. 6 episodes later, that promise still stands. And before we step into series 2, I want to pause, look back at what we built together, and say the 2 words that are easy to skip in this work. Thank you. Welcome to GovCon Clarity with Dr. Lori Smith. I am Dr. Lori Smith, CEO and founder of Elegant LLC and founder of Sowing Our Seeds Empowerment. This is the space where we tell the truth about federal work, especially for women-owned, veteran-owned, and mission-driven small businesses. Today's episode is a little different. There's no new framework. I know y'all happy about that, right? No new assessment. This is a wrap up. Thank you and a preview. So pour your coffee, settle in, and let's reflect on what Series 1 gave us and what's coming next. Now, before I say anything else, I want to thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing episodes with the people, in your circle, your network. Thank you for the messages, the LinkedIn comments, the screenshots, the questions, and the honest feedback that showed me that this content is landing where it needs to. Now, this podcast was never meant to be background noise. It was built, for the founders who are tired of the hype, tired of the just register on sam.gov and you'll win advice, and ready for somebody to tell them the truth. Now, the fact that you stayed with me for all 6 episodes of this series, 1 tells me you are that founder. And I don't take that lightly. So before we go any further, thank you, genuinely. So series 1 was called the Readiness Gap. And the through line across all 6 episodes was a single uncomfortable idea. Most small businesses pursuing federal contracts are not unqualified, they are understructured. Readiness is not emotional, it is architectural. Here's the quick walk back through what we built together. In episode 1, why most small businesses aren't ready for federal contract, even if they think they are, we separated revenue from readiness. Revenue is proof of demand. Readiness is proof of capacity. And federal contracts don't create structure. They reveal whether structure exists. Now, in episode 2, what government agencies actually evaluate before awarding a federal contract, we pull back the curtain on the evaluations because agencies aren't guessing. They are examining repeatability, documentation, financial integrity, and leadership discipline. Charisma doesn't win contracts, capacity does. So in episode 3, the Readiness Gap, where structure fails before the revenue does, we named the gap directly and examined the 3 pillars where small businesses, typically break down under, federal scrutiny. In episode 4, your first governance framework, without a boardroom, we made governance practical. Decision authority maps, core policies, documentation systems, review rhythms, the bones of something real, even if you're a team of 1. In episode 5, contract ready versus contract curious, building a pipeline with boundaries, we talked about bid, no bid discipline and why chasing every opportunity is the fastest way to break a small business. And in episode 6, from readiness to revenue, building what can hold the opportunity, we brought it all home. because readiness isn't what slows you down. It's the thing that lets you say yes without collapsing. So if I can compress all 6 episodes into one sentence, it really would be the line that has become the heartbeat of this show. Readiness protects what ambition pursues. So if you only walked away with a handful of takeaways from series 1, let these be them. First, structure is the difference between opportunity and exposure, not effort, not ambition, structure. Federal contracting rewards discipline, not passion. Agencies are evaluating whether you can withstand scrutiny, not how much you want it. The third thing, improvisations works early in entrepreneurship. It does not survive federal scrutiny. Documentation must precede delegation, and structure must precede sales. The fourth thing is you are not behind. You are underbuilt. And that's a fixable problem. And it's the right problem to be solving before the contract lands, not afterwards. 5, guessing is expensive. Clarity is cheaper. Every system you install today is a problem you don't have to clean up tomorrow. So if those lessons rattled something loose for you, share this series with someone who needs to hear it. Because there's a founder in your network right now chasing a contract their business cannot yet hold. You can be the person who hands them a different way of thinking. So now let's talk about, what's next. Because if series 1 helped you see the gap, series two is going to help you close it. Series 2 is called Systems Before Scales. 6 episodes, deeper conversations, and in some episodes, I'm actually bringing in guests who live this work. So here's what's coming. In episode 7, From Hustle to Operating System, the most fundamental shift any founder can make, moving from running on adrenaline to running on architecture. We'll talk about how to build the systems to close your gaps without adding more chaos to your plate. In episode 8, Making Governance a Living Practice, we're building governance is one thing. Making it live and breathe in your day-to-day is another. So we're going to cover how to introduce governance to your teams, your subcontractors, and your collaborators without it feeling, stiff or corporate. In episode 9, Designing Readiness Pathways for Your Business, this is the episode for the founder who can see all the gaps at once and doesn't know which one to tackle first. I'm going to walk you through how to sequence the work so you build readiness, on purpose, not by accident. In episode 10, Metrics That Matter, beyond just revenue is a lagging indicator. It tells you what already happened. I'm going to give you a different set of numbers, the ones that actually tell you whether your business is building readiness or just, building volume. In episode 11, Reducing Founder Dependency on Purpose, the hardest truth in the series, the biggest risk in your business might be you. We'll talk about how to step outside, the center of every decision without losing control or your identity as a founder. And then in episode 12, that's going to be a case clinic. We're turning chaos into a readiness engine. It'll be the finality, and it's a composite case drawn from real founders that I work with, walking step by step through how to turn a chaotic business into a readiness engine using everything we built across both series. So if series 1 gave you the diagnosis, series 2 is going to give you the build plan. Now, before I close, I want to ask 3 things of you. And I'm asking on behalf of every founder out there who hasn't, found this podcast yet, but desperately needs it, right? First thing I want you to do is subscribe on YouTube. Search for GovCon Clarity with Dr. Lori Smith and just hit subscribe. YouTube is where series 2 as well as series 1 will live in full video, and subscribing makes sure you don't miss an episode. As you don't miss an episode as they drop, right? The second thing I want you to do is share this series, because if one of these episodes shifted something for you, send it to a founder who's chasing federal work without the infrastructure to hold it. Send it to, the veteran-owned business, in your network. Send it to the woman-owned business or the woman founder who's brilliant but stretched thin. This information was built to travel, so don't keep it. And then the third thing I want you to do is leave a review or a comment. Tell me what landed. Tell me what challenged you. Tell me what you want me to dig into deeper. I read everything, and your feedback shapes the show. So that's where we are. 8 episodes done and more on the way. A community of founders who are choosing to build for scrutiny instead of being surprised by it. So thank you for trusting me with your time. Thank you for trusting me with your readiness journey. And thank you for being the kind of founder who'd rather hear the truth than the hype. Series 2, Systems Before Scale, drops soon. Subscribe to YouTube, share with somebody who needs it, and meet me back here, when our next videos go live. So until then, remember, guessing is expensive, y'all, and clarity is so much cheaper. This is GovCon Clarity. Readiness protects what ambition pursues. So build what holds the opportunity and what holds you. Thank you so much for your time.